While selling candy on the busy sidewalk to support his wheelchair-bound mother, a young boy looked toward the hotel entrance and saw something that would change his life forever. His mother was standing, smiling. Sam is there, in the beating heart of San Francisco, with a determined countenance that contrasts with his youth. His face, marked by early effort, hides a soul full of dreams and hopes. He holds a basket full of caramels, his fingers slightly sticking to the sugar covering the sweets. Each caramel sold is a small victory, a step forward in the daily battle to help his mother, Linda. Linda, despite being confined to a wheelchair, has a fighting spirit. She positions herself on the corner of a busy street, where the scent of the flowers she sells mixes with the constant sound of traffic. Even on the most difficult days, her agile and careful hands arrange the flowers with almost artistic precision. Days start early for Sam. He wakes up before sunrise, preparing for another day of fighting. Sam picks up the basket of caramels, while Linda checks the flowers, adjusting each bouquet with a watchful eye. As the city awakens, they split up to put food on the table. Sam, with his caramels, walks the streets, approaching tourists and locals with a genuine smile. Fresh caramels. Help a good cause, he says, his gaze meeting people's eyes, trying to establish a connection that transcends simple sales. Some rush by, but others stop by and leave a word of encouragement or a smile that warms the young seller's heart. Linda, in turn, attracts attention not only for her flowers, but for the aura of strength she emanates. Every flower sold is a testament to your ability to persevere, and every customer is a witness to your silent struggle. She talks to each one, sharing experiences and empathy. There are times when Sam feels exhausted, when his legs hurt and his energy seems to run out. In these moments, he thinks about Linda. He thinks about how she never gives up, how every day for her is a challenge greater than anything he can face. This gives you the strength to continue, to sell one more caramel, to approach one more person. Linda moves deftly in her wheelchair, trying to leave enough space for pedestrians to pass and at the same time display her flowers in the best way possible. However, a car stops next to her, and a woman gets out, her eyes blazing with anger. You're blocking the street with that chair. You can't stay there, the woman screams, her voice cutting through the air like a sharp blade. Linda feels the impact of the words like a punch to the stomach. She tries to explain, her voice shaky and soft. Sorry, I'm just selling flowers, trying to make a living. But the woman doesn't want to hear it. She continues to insult, her words filled with disdain and impatience. Linda feels tears burning her eyes, but she keeps her head up. When the woman finally leaves, Linda feels empty and hurt. Emotional pain is deep, a wound that opens with the indifference and aggression of others. She takes a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure, but the frustration and sadness are almost overwhelming. Later, Sam returns, his face lit with a tired but warm smile. Upon seeing Linda's downcast expression, his concern is immediate. What happened, Mom? He kneels beside her, holding her hands. Linda lets out a heavy sigh, her voice choked with emotion. One woman. She was so angry with me. She said I was blocking traffic. She insulted me in front of everyone. I feel so ignored, so disrespected. Sam feels a surge of anger and sadness for his mother. He sees strength in Linda every day, and seeing her hurt is unbearable. They don't know what you go through, Mom. They don't know how much you fight every day. Linda tries to smile, but it's a sad smile, full of pain. Sometimes it feels like no one cares, like we're invisible, Sam. It's as if our fight means nothing to them. Sam squeezes Linda's hands tighter.
Care, Mom.
And there are people who also care, even if it doesn't seem like it. You are strong. We are strong together. Linda's eyes fill with tears again, but this time there is a glimmer of hope mixed with the sadness. She knows Sam is right. They have each other, and that is an inexhaustible source of strength. Thank you, my son. You always know what to say to make me feel better. Sam is at Linda's side, holding her hands tightly as her tears still glisten in the dim evening light. He feels a deep pain when he sees his mother so dejected. Linda, who has always been a rock, now seems so fragile. He takes a deep breath, searching for the right words to comfort her. Mom, those words aren't about you. These people are projecting their own frustrations and unhappiness. They don't know you, they don't know what you face every day. You are much stronger than they know. Linda looks at Sam, her eyes tired but grateful. His words are a balm for your wounded soul, but the pain of the insults still echoes in your mind. Sometimes it's hard not to let it get to me, Sam. I try so hard, and it seems like no one sees it. No one understands what it's like to be in my shoes. Sam gently caresses Linda's hands, feeling the hardness of the calluses that tell the story of her struggle. I know, Mom. I know how hard you try. And I know that you often feel alone in this battle. But I'm here with you, always. Linda closes her eyes for a moment, remembering all the challenges she has faced. She remembers her own mother, a harsh and incomprehensible woman, who never accepted her condition. My mother never understood. She always thought I was being weak, that I could get over it if I wanted it bad enough. She couldn't see my pain. Sam feels a wave of sadness and indignation for his mother. He always knew Linda's relationship with her grandmother was complicated, but hearing the pain in Linda's words affects him deeply. That's not fair, Mom. You deserved more understanding and support. But you got over that too. You are incredible. Linda opens her eyes, meeting Sam's love-filled gaze. You're the best thing that ever happened to me, Sam. Sometimes I feel like you're the only person who really understands me. Thank you, my son. I don't know what I would do without you. Sam has always noticed the tension between his mother, Linda, and his grandmother. Since he was a child, he saw how encounters between the two were filled with heavy silences and sharp looks. Now, as a teenager, he feels the need to understand the reason behind his grandmother's harsh treatment of Linda. Sam and Linda return home after a long day on the streets of San Francisco. Sam, with his tired shoulders and overworked mind, pushes Linda's wheelchair as they approach the small house where they live with Gloria, Linda's mother and Sam's grandmother. As soon as they open the door, Gloria is already there, her face marked by the hardness of a life full of challenges and bitterness. She's clutching a handful of beads, her eyes shooting sparks of frustration. Finally. Where were you guys? Sales were terrible today, weren't they? Linda lowers her head, already familiar with her mother's disapproving tone. We did our best, Mom. Things are hard, but we're trying. Gloria, however, is not satisfied. Trying? That's not enough. The bills are piling up, and we can barely afford the basics. Why don't you use your disability to make more money? People feel sorry for you. Make the most of it. These words cut Linda like a sharp blade. Sam feels a surge of anger and sadness for his mother, who has already faced so much without needing more criticism. Grandma, that's not fair. Mommy is doing everything she can. She works hard every day. Gloria turns her stern gaze on Sam. You don't understand, boy. This is about survival. And your mother, with her weakness, is becoming a burden to all of us. Linda always strived not to be a burden, to contribute in every way possible despite her limitations. Her eyes fill with tears, but she holds them back, refusing to let Gloria see her suffering. I'm not a burden, Linda murmurs, voice shaky but resolute. I do what I can. I didn't choose this, Mom. But I choose to fight every day. Sam leans closer to Linda, her presence offering silent comfort. He looks at Gloria, his eyes young but determined. We'll find a way, Grandma. I'll find more ways to help. But please, stop treating Mom like this. She doesn't deserve this. Gloria lets out an exasperated sigh, but the intensity in Sam's gaze makes her stop for a moment. Well, kid, I hope you find a solution. Because living on excuses isn't going to pay our bills. With that, Gloria leaves the room, leaving Sam and Linda alone. The silence that remains is heavy, but Sam feels that something has changed. He looks at Linda, who is trying to pull herself together, her usual strength shaken but not broken. Sorry about that, Mom. I promise we'll find a way to make things better, Sam says, his voice full of commitment and love. Linda smiles at him, although her smile is tinged with sadness. I know we will, Sam. You are my strength. And together, we will get through this. Sam feels a lump in his throat, emotion boiling inside him. I'm going to look for a second job. I'm going to sell more caramels, anything. I'm not going to let you carry this weight alone. Linda squeezes Sam's hand, her gratitude and love radiating through the simple gesture. Thank you, my son. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. One day after school, Sam musters up the courage and broaches the subject with his grandmother. She's in the kitchen, busy with her chores, but Sam knows it's now or never. He clears his throat, trying to find the right words for your delicate question. Grandma, why were you always so hard on Mom? Sam finally asks, his tone mixing curiosity and a hint of apprehension. The grandmother stops for a moment, her eyes fixed on the pot she is stirring. There's a palpable tension in the air before she finally responds, her voice tight and controlled. Your mother was always different. Weak, in my opinion. She could have gotten over things if she had tried hard enough. Sam frowns, struggling to understand. He always saw in Linda a strength that overcomes any obstacle. But Grandma, don't you see how she fights every day? She's strong, much more than you know. The grandmother sighs, a mixture of resignation and frustration in her expression. You don't know everything, Samuel. There are things about your mother that you will never understand. The next day, while selling his caramels, Sam sees a woman in a luxurious car who piques his curiosity. She is identical to her mother, same hair color, same face shape. The woman looks elegant, dressed in expensive clothes, a stark contrast to the reality Sam knows. He follows the car discreetly, keeping a safe distance so as not to be noticed. The vehicle stops in front of a luxurious hotel and, to his surprise, the woman gets out of the vehicle without anyone's help and enters one of the most expensive hotels in the city. Sam notices that she has the same scar on her arm that her mother has. This coincidence only confirms his suspicions. She is his mother. Sam enlists the help of his best friend, Lucas, to find out how his mother, who he thought was in a wheelchair all these years, could now be walking normally and entering a luxury hotel. On the way to school, Sam shares his story with Lucas, explaining every detail with a mix of frustration and excitement. Lucas, I know it sounds crazy, but she's my mom. I need to find out what's going on. Will you help me? Lucas, always loyal and adventurous, doesn't hesitate. Of course, Sam. We'll figure it out together. But we need to be careful. After school, the two friends return to the hotel where Sam saw the woman for the first time. They position themselves in a strategic location where they can observe without attracting attention. Sam feels his heart quicken when he sees the luxury car pulling up again. The same woman descends, her presence radiating confidence and elegance. Lucas, watching alongside Sam, quietly comments, Dude, I can't believe it, it's your mom." Sam nods, his eyes fixed on the woman. He feels a whirlwind of emotions, the excitement of a possible discovery, and the fear of discovering that his mother has lied to him all these years. Evelyn, while walking towards the exit for an important meeting, Sam directly addresses her, calling her mother with an intensity that Evelyn did not expect. Her eyes widen in surprise, not only at the accusation, but at the confusion she feels at the situation. Before Evelyn can articulate a response, a security guard abruptly intervenes. He, without realizing the gravity of the situation, pushes Lucas, Sam's friend, causing the bread he was holding to fall to the floor. The scene unfolds in a mix of awkwardness and tension, as Lucas tries to compose himself and Sam stares at Evelyn, waiting for an explanation that could change everything he knows about his family. Sam can't contain his emotions. He grew up with the image of his mother, Linda, as a pillar of unwavering strength and love. The idea that she could have hidden something as fundamental as her true identity leaves him stunned and hurt. As the security guard tries to calm the situation, Evelyn feels a mixture of compassion and confusion as she looks at Sam. She doesn't understand why that boy is calling her mother. Evelyn is stunned by Sam's words. As she tries to process the impact of his words, her mind races to find a logical explanation for the young man's confusion. She knows she can't just ignore the situation, even though it seems unlikely that Sam is right about her identity. With a serious look, Evelyn asks the receptionist to bring a glass of water. She needs a moment to gather her thoughts before responding to Sam. The security guard, still tense about the situation, is ordered by Evelyn to stay away from Sam. She doesn't want the security guard's imposing presence to increase the already palpable tension. She needs to listen to Sam, understand what led him to this audacious conclusion that she is his mother. As Sam waits, his mind is in turmoil. He feels vulnerable and determined at the same time. Seeing Evelyn's reaction only increases his certainty that there is something deeper between them. Lucas watches everything with concern. He knows Sam well enough to know that this meeting is an emotional game changer. He wonders how Sam will cope if his suspicions aren't confirmed, if Evelyn isn't Linda. As the receptionist brings the glass of water, Evelyn finally composes herself enough to face Sam. She looks into his eyes, searching for clues to her own lost truth. The scar on her arm seems to pulse with pent-up emotions, a physical reminder of a story she has never forgotten. When the water is placed in front of her, Evelyn thanks the receptionist with a quick, firm gesture. She turns back to Sam, now ready to hear what he has to say. The tension in the air is palpable, but she is determined to understand what is happening, to uncover the mysteries of the past that continue to haunt her. Sam takes a gulp of air before speaking. He feels a lump in his throat, a mix of hope and fear. Evelyn takes a deep breath, approaches Sam with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension, ready to face the question he asked with so much conviction. Her heart beats a little faster as she introduces herself, pronouncing his name in a firm voice, trying to convey calm and security, even though inside she is as confused as he is. "I'm Evelyn," she says, choosing her words carefully as she tries to understand what could have led Sam to make such a perplexing statement. She watches his eyes, searching for clues in his tense, determined expression. Sam, in turn, feels a whirlwind of emotions. He looks at Evelyn, trying to reconcile her image with that of the mother he knows so well. The scar on Evelyn's arm continues to intrigue him, a detail that seems to connect the dots of a story he never knew existed. He feels compelled to explain, to share his thoughts and doubts, even if everything seems surreal. "He's sorry for the confusion," Sam begins, his voice wavering, a reflection of his own emotional confusion. "But you have a scar on your arm, just like my mother. She said it was a birth scar." Evelyn listens intently, processing Sam's words. She knows she can't just ignore this connection, however unlikely it may seem. The idea that she could have been mistaken for Linda, her kidnapped twin sister, is disconcerting. She remembers the stories her parents told, the endless searches for clues to Linda's whereabouts, the tears shed by a family broken by tragedy. She wonders if Sam might be the key to unlocking a mystery that has haunted her life since birth. As he drinks the glass of water, she finally finds the courage to ask, "What exactly do you mean by lied to me all these years?" Her voice is careful, but there is a twinge of urgency, a need to clarify what appears to be a complex and potentially transformative misunderstanding. Sam feels relieved to finally be able to share his doubts. He explains to Evelyn about her mother, Linda, about the story she told and the certainty that the woman in front of her is more than just the hotel owner. He mentions family details that could only be known by someone close to him, a desperate attempt to validate his own memories and experiences. Evelyn is perplexed by every detail Sam reveals. As she tries to process the idea that she might be mistaken for her missing twin sister, she feels an overwhelming mix of emotions. The question about her ages and birthdays is like a punch in the gut. She never imagined someone could get so close to her own lost story. With a still shaky voice, Evelyn confirms that she and Linda are the same age and that they share the same birthday. The world around her seems blurry as she tries to absorb what this means. The idea that she may have lived one life while her sister was somewhere out there living an entirely different life is hard to accept. As Evelyn tries to process the increasingly evident connection between her and Sam, he mentions the photo of his mother that he carries in his wallet. With shaking hands, Sam takes the photo out of the safe place where he always keeps it. He hands it to Evelyn, who looks at it with a mixture of fascination and anguish. Linda's image is identical to Evelyn's features. The similarities are striking. It's as if she's looking at a reflection of herself. Meanwhile, Sam watches with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Lucas, who watches the scene with silent respect, feels the emotional weight of the moment. He knows he is witnessing something deeply intimate and transformative between Evelyn and Sam. Evelyn looks at Sam with wide eyes, trying to process the magnitude of what she just discovered. Linda, his twin sister lost since birth, was there the whole time, living a life separate but as close as a child can be to their mother. Tears begin to stream down Evelyn's face, an overwhelming mix of emotions taking over her. The idea that Linda, the sister she never knew, could be so close is almost too much for her to bear. The deep desire to reconnect with the part of herself that has always been missing intensifies, leaving her almost breathless. Evelyn holds on to Sam tightly, as if he's the only anchor in a sea of turbulent emotions. She murmurs words of gratitude for finally having found a clue, for having the chance to put together the pieces of a puzzle that has haunted her life since the moment she learned of its origin. Evelyn takes a deep breath, trying to regain her composure after the overwhelming revelation that just happened. She feels the weight of emotions roiling inside her as she addresses the security guard with a firmness mixed with trembling. Please, could you go to the personnel department immediately? She asks the security guard, her voice full of authority and contained indignation. The security guard looks at her in surprise, noticing the seriousness in her tone. He swallows hard and nods in agreement, hurriedly leaving to carry out Evelyn's order. As the security guard walks away, Evelyn turns to Sam and Lucas, her eyes still wet with emotion. She swallows hard before speaking, aware of the impact her words have on the young people in front of her. I'm sorry about this, she begins, her words sounding like an echo laden with regret. No one should be treating you this way, especially here in my hotel. Please accept my apology. Lucas looks at Evelyn with a mixture of surprise and gratitude. He never expected to receive such a sincere and generous apology. The amount of money that Evelyn takes out of her wallet to compensate for the inconvenience only increases her surprise. He shakes his head, trying to find words to express his gratitude, but his voice breaks momentarily. He accepts the gesture with a humble nod, feeling a mixture of relief and admiration for the woman in front of him. Sam, in turn, is impressed by Evelyn's determination and compassion. He sees beyond the imposing figure of the hotel owner and realizes the vulnerability behind the mask of authority. The way she cares to right an injustice reveals a depth of character he didn't expect to find. Evelyn feels a little lighter after making peace with Sam and Lucas, but her mind is occupied with thoughts about Linda, her lost twin sister. The revelation that Linda may be alive and so close to her leaves her with a sense of urgency mixed with hope. Evelyn asks Sam to take her to her sister. We need to find her as quickly as possible, Evelyn says determinedly, her eyes fixed on Sam. Your mother deserves to know that she has a sister and that she is looking for her. I want to surprise her, Sam says, his face lighting up at the idea. She'll never believe it when she sees you. It'll be emotional. Linda is in the middle of the busy street, selling sweets with a gentle smile on her lips, but her look reflects tiredness and determination mixed together. She feels the weight of years in the wrinkles around her eyes, a silent witness to all the battles she faced to support her family. Sam approaches with a mischievous glint in his eyes, holding back a smile he can barely contain. He knows that the surprise he prepared for his mother will change everything. Mom, close your eyes, he says enthusiastically, his voice vibrating with anticipation. Linda, accustomed to her son's amorous surprises, obeys without hesitation, her heart racing with anticipation. The instant Linda opens her eyes again, she is surprised and stunned. Before her is Evelyn, a woman who could be her reflection in the mirror. The shock is palpable, as if time has stopped for a moment. Linda's eyes sweep over Evelyn's face, searching in disbelief at the striking resemblance they share. Evelyn approaches Linda with a mix of nervousness and anxiety. Her steps are hesitant, as if she's afraid that everything might disappear if she doesn't act carefully. She looks into Linda's eyes, seeing her reflection, an image that has always been far away and now seems so close. A beautiful G, Evelyn says in a trembling voice, her eyes shining with contained tears. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. Linda, still processing the revelation, feels a whirlwind of emotions within her. She looks at Evelyn, seeing the striking resemblance that unites them. It's as if a lost piece of her past finally falls into place, filling a void she didn't even know existed. A sadness mixed with relief upon seeing her sister for the first time. She always knew there was something missing in her life, a void that no amount of success or material comfort could fill. Now, before Linda, she sees a chance to restore an essential part of her identity. To Linda, Evelyn's every word is like a chapter in a book she never knew was being written. Every detail of their story is a revelation that changes their certainties and beliefs about their own lives. She clings to Evelyn's warm embrace as if it could dispel the doubts and years of separation. Linda grew up believing in a reality that now turns out to be distorted. Her adoptive mother, the only mother figure she has ever known, has shown a stern and cold side over the years, but Linda has always chalked it up to the difficulty of life. Now, however, she finds herself faced with the possibility that her adoptive mother may have a dark past. The idea of being taken from your biological mother generates deep emotional confusion. Linda feels betrayed, as if an essential piece of her identity has been stolen. Sadness is mixed with heartache when she thinks about the years of her childhood and adolescence, in which she faced emotional challenges without fully understanding their origins. The weight of the secret kept for so long. We need to go to the police and report this woman. She kidnapped you and mistreated you for so many years. We need to do it right. Linda feels a whirlwind of emotions. On the one hand, the idea of denouncing the woman who raised her, even cruelly, is terrifying. On the other hand, she knows that Evelyn is right. Justice needs to be done. The tears begin to stream down Linda's face, and she looks to Sam, seeking strength. Sam, always the pillar of support, holds his mother's hand and looks her in the eyes. I'm here with you, Mom. Let's do this together. On the way to the police station, Linda feels as if every step is an internal struggle. The surrounding city seems to be going about its business as usual, but for Linda, everything is changing. When they arrive at the police station, Evelyn leads the conversation with the police officers, explaining the situation. Linda feels like a spectator in her own life, watching as Evelyn's words unravel a story of pain and loss. Sitting in the waiting room, Linda looks at her shaking hands and takes a deep breath. Sam sits next to her and hugs her, giving her the strength she so desperately needs. Evelyn returns and joins them, her expression serious but comforting. It's going to be okay, Linda. We're doing the right thing, says Evelyn, trying to hold back her own tears. The police begin to ask Linda questions, and she responds with a choked voice, reliving every painful moment of her childhood. Confession is liberating, but also exhausting. When they leave the police station, Linda feels exhausted, but also feels a lightness that she hasn't experienced in a long time. Beside her, Evelyn and Sam walk in silence, each lost in their own thoughts. Evelyn, still holding Linda's hand, speaks softly but firmly. We will get through this together. I'm not alone anymore, and neither are you. We have each other. Evelyn takes Linda and Sam to the hotel's presidential suite and arranges everything to make them feel at home. She opens the door to the presidential suite with a welcoming smile, revealing a space that exudes luxury and comfort. Linda and Sam enter hesitantly, their wide eyes taking in every detail. Make yourself at home, says Evelyn softly. This is all yours too. Linda touches the soft fabric of the sofa, letting comfort wrap around her fingers like a promise of security. Sam, still holding Linda's hand, walks to the picture window, where the view of the city stretches like a carpet of twinkling lights beneath the night sky. Evelyn watches them with a pang of emotion in her chest. She knows this gesture means more than just sharing a physical space. It is an invitation to a new life, a new hope. You deserve this, she asserts, after everything you've been through. Evelyn's words echo in Linda and Sam's hearts. They turn to her, their eyes shining not just with tears of gratitude, but with a reborn flame of determination. Right now, they are not just guests in a hotel. They are survivors, dreamers, and now, thanks to Evelyn's generosity, they have a home where they can live and plan their future. The suite becomes a silent sanctuary for your weary souls. Every object around seems to whisper words of encouragement, the curtains dancing softly to the breath of the air conditioning, the fresh flowers exuding fragrances that promise new beginnings, and the inviting beds promising rest and renewal. Evelyn leaves them alone, closing the door gently behind her. Linda and Sam embrace, finding comfort in the warmth shared between them. They know the journey ahead will be challenging, but in this moment of unexpected peace, they feel anything is possible. Evelyn and Linda, with determined looks, meticulously plan each step of their next move, to take evidence against Gloria, the woman who kidnapped Linda and raised her as her daughter. The air is thick with tension, but also with cautious hope. They strategically position the cell phone inside the bag, ensuring that the recording will capture every word that is about to be said. Linda takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of the truth in her heart. She confronts Gloria with a firm voice, but her hands shake imperceptibly. I found out everything, she reveals. I was kidnapped by you when I was just a baby. Gloria, taken by surprise, hesitates for a moment that seems to last an eternity. Her eyes meet Linda's, and a silent battle unfolds between them. And not only that, Linda continues, her voice gaining strength as she speaks her truth. I found my twin sister. The revelation falls like a bomb in the silence of the room. Evelyn watches closely, ready to intervene if necessary. The recording continues, capturing every nuance of the conversation. The anguish in Linda's voice, the surprise and calculation in Gloria's eyes. Time seems to stop as they wait for Gloria's response. The tension is palpable. It's a moment that could change everything. Linda and Evelyn know that the recorded words could be the key to unraveling years of lies and bringing justice to lives that have been torn apart. Gloria finally speaks, her shaky voice revealing the cracks in her carefully constructed facade. Every word is charged with emotion, shock, denial, and perhaps a glimmer of remorse. Gloria, her voice choked by the weight of her own words, confesses. I stole the wrong child, she murmurs, and every word is like a dagger to Linda's heart. When I found out she was disabled, I was so angry. Linda feels the ground open beneath her feet. The pain of rejection and the bitterness of Gloria's words mix in an emotional storm that threatens to engulf her. But she stands firm, sustained by the strength she has found in her true family and in Evelyn's solidarity. Gloria remains blind to the recording that she continues to capture each confession. I regretted it, she says, because I took a child who would only give me trouble. That would be of no use. The words are cruel, but Linda is not alone in her pain. Evelyn stands beside her, a rock amid the storm of emotions. Together, they face the painful truths that Gloria spills without a filter. Linda, her heart overflowing with pain and relief, bursts into tears. The tears flow freely, each one carrying years of suffering and secrets. Sam wraps her in his arms, offering a safe haven in the midst of the emotional storm. The police, having heard every word through wiretapping, arrive with determination. They enter the room with firm steps and handcuff Gloria, who looks around, realizing too late that her truth has been revealed. Evelyn approaches Linda and Sam, her words a balm for their open wounds. "You will never experience need or humiliation again," she promises with conviction. "And now I will take care of you. Now you're going to live with me," she tells Linda and Sam, her eyes shining with a mix of generosity and expectation. "My mansion is big enough for all of us, and it will be more than just a house. Now you will have a home." Linda feels a warmth in her chest when she hears this. Evelyn's presence is a new anchor in her life, something she never imagined she would have. And Sam, her beloved son, is living proof that love and hope can emerge even in the darkest moments. As they walk back home, Linda reflects on how drastically her life has changed in such a short time. There's still a long road ahead, full of challenges and uncertainty, but she feels stronger with Evelyn and Sam by her side. Together, they face the future with renewed courage, ready to heal the wounds of the past and build a new chapter in their lives. If you liked this exciting story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Stay now with another touching story.